Hello, this is Louis Zaid from Aleph Arabic Online, taking some lessons today from Surat An-Nasr, chapter 110. Okay, we're just looking at the first verse today, and we'll look at the next verses in other recordings, inshallah. So, looking at the first verse, we have أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم إذا جاء نصر الله والفتح. So, إذا is when, and it's used in other parts of the Quran, such as وإذا قيل لهم, and when they are told. So, إذا is still used colloquially, so you can hear that on the street. And there's a difference between either and idhan. Idhan with the tanween, the two dashes above the last alif. Idhan means kind of so. It's not really used colloquially as much, but you'll see it maybe in movie subtitles and stuff like that. But it's more like so, and then continuing with the sentence. So there is a difference between either and idhan, just to make that clear. And moving on, so we have ja'a, so إذا ja'a, so just going a bit into verb formation. So ja'a means he came. Okay, and just to give you an idea of the concept of how verbs in Arabic work, so in the past, if you wanna make it something different from he came, ja'a as he came. If you want to make it like she came, you came, I came, then it's adding a suffix at the end of the word. So she came would be ja'at, adding the ta at the end. Jitta for a man, you came to a man, jitta, and to a lady, jitti. Okay, and jittu, I. So adding a suffix to the end changes the meaning of the verb. And what we're looking at here on the screen is really common throughout all the verbs. Really, it's adding a suffix um, and also adding a prefix in the present as well. So again, ja'a is he came. You can see in the middle of the screen, ja'u is they came. Okay, jittum, you, plural, talking to a group of people, jittum. You came and we came, jitna, we came. Okay, in the present, you're adding prefixes in some cases and also prefixes and suffixes in the end. So something before the word and something after um, something before the root letters and something after the root letters. So 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 basically you can see that format in all the verbs really. And in the street, like you can say ja'a, but in the street usually they would say like aja. So he came, they would usually say aja. And if instead of saying ja'at in the street, she came, they would usually say ajat, depending on the accent. So for example, jitta, you came, talking to a man, instead of saying jitta, they would say jit. Or to a lady, instead of saying jitti, they would say jiti. Okay, instead of saying jittu, I came, they would usually say ajit. So it's really based on the accent. Um, Ja'u, jittum, jitna. Usually, maybe jitna would be ajina. This particular verb is a bit complicated, but you can see that the street way of saying it is very similar, but a little bit different. But this is the general concept of verbs in Arabic. You have to add something before and after it sometimes to change who it's talking about. So that was just an overview. So looking at some other words, nasr. So we have help, which is more kind of victory. It's like in battle, for example, or the big word victory. So there are some other words which have the same kind of root, which is Nasrani. Nasrani is a Christian person. The religion of Christianity is Nasraniya. So they follow the same root letters of Nun, Sad, and Ra. But Nasr itself is victory. Okay. And the verb forms that we're just going to look at in a second. Here's a reminder of the verb forms. We'll be looking a little bit of verb form 1, 3, and 8. Okay. So when you're looking at the word, for example, so Nasr is the noun, victory. But when you look in the dictionary for the verb of like to grant victory or to render victorious, it's the verb form 1, which is fa'ala. You can see it in the previous screen, fa'ala, verb form 1. So the equivalent in this root, which is nun sadra, which is to do with victory, it's yansur. Yansur means to grant victory to somebody, to help somebody become victorious. So yansur. So you'll see a lot of dua some like saying, or from this hadith, for example, "Innama yansurullah, innama yansurullah." So Allah grants victory to blah blah blah. So this is verb form one, and there's a difference between yansur and yusa'id. Yusa'id means to help somebody. So if I'm in the street and I help a guy crossing the road, I'm helping him. This is yusa'id, helping. But the yansur is more about victory, like in a battle. Okay, if we look at verb form three as well, so ifta'ala, you'll see it on the screen we looked at previously. This is verb form three. Sorry, this is verb form nine. Sorry about that. Sorry, verb form eight. Verb form eight. Sorry, it's ifta'al. Ifta'al. So yantasir. If you see yantasir, it follows the same root letters, which is nun, sad, and ra. But it has the ta in the middle. So this is following the verb form nine, which is ifta'al, which is yantasir. It means to win, basically. So if you want to say like we will win or we will be victorious, it's not like what we previously looked at. This one is using a different verb form, and it becomes yantasir. Yantasir is he will be victorious. If you want to say let's win, like it says on the screen, nantasir. Nantasir is we will win. We will be victorious. Okay, so changing the verb form also changes the meaning, just to give you that concept. Okay, so there are some other meanings as well. You're taking the same root letters, so nun, sad, and ra. So we have nasir and nasir. So nasir and nasir, you'll see them both in the Quran. And if you look at the translation, it both says helper or supporter or defender or protector, these kind of words. So in English it means the same, but in Arabic it's a little bit beyond the scope of this lesson, the deep meaning of it. But in a nutshell, Nasir is more like an inherent attribute of somebody, like a characteristic of somebody, Nasir. And Nasir is more situational. So somebody needs help, and somebody helps somebody, and somebody is receiving the help. This is a situation, somebody giving the help and somebody receiving the help. So in this case, Nasir is situational. Nasir is the more inherent attribute. And you can kind of, if you want to look at it colloquially, what people say in the street, they'll say like "ana," which is I, "ana qadir," I'm able to do something. Okay, so "ana qadir" means I'm able to do something. They wouldn't say "ana qadir," they would say "ana qadir." Okay, which is more situational. And if you want to say in the street, like I understand what you're telling me, you can say "ana fahim." "Ana fahim" is like I'm understanding what you're saying like right now, but you wouldn't say "ana fahim," which is a more of an attribute. That person is an understanding individual. He's very understanding other people's emotions, empathetic, and blah blah blah. So on a street level, that's the kind of logic behind it. Okay, so that's the end of today's lesson. We'll do some further parts for this particular chapter. This is Louis Zaid from Aleph Arabic Online. Thank you so much and see you soon. Bye bye.